today is Garth Brooks' birthday. I forgot to see how old he was. But Garth Brooks is an amazing artist, as we all know, and hugely successful. And he had played in Boise a few years back, 2 nights at the Broncos Stadium, like 40,000 people a night. And the cool connection I had with that is one of his crew members who is operates a camera, who's been touring with him for I think 30 years or so. Garth Brooks always tries to do something different for the opening of the show, and so he had asked several people on the crew if they could assemble a band to open this show. And the guy actually had moved to Boise, and another family member that knows me recommended to take some drum lessons from me, so that he could be prepared. And so he came over, I think 3 different times over a couple months, and learned these 4 cover songs that they played to open for Garth Brooks. And it was really, really cool to be part of that. And then somebody else had posted about, hey, Garth Brooks can get 40,000 people to go see him a night. How come I can't get 40 people to come fill up this bar that I'm playing? Well, I think there's a lot of opinions and roads to take that lead to that success that Garth Brooks has. And so I guess that person would have to ask themselves, am I doing all those things that lead to that? Am I doing all the right things to pack a club? Everybody has their opinion on how one would go about doing that, and it's not for me to say. So I posted, does my faith matter in what I post on social media? I think most people know that I am a believer in God and am a Christian, but I don't really talk about that much when I'm posting things or doing videos and that kind of thing. And I've had a couple people that I've gone to church with more or less criticize me for not being more vocal about that stuff. I think if you know me personally and my behavior and my wife and my children, it's pretty easy to see that we have faith in our lives. But I believe social media, Facebook, Instagram, all those places can so quickly become an incredibly toxic wasteland. And what adds to that are people's inability to agree on anything, whether it be political, faith-based stuff, or even cultural tides of things. So I think that my faith does play a role in what I post, or maybe even more in what I don't post. And I think that's a reflection of my character either way, if you know me in person or through this platform, that what I believe in is pretty clear. And so when these other people that I went to church with were kind of calling me out a little bit, they're messaging me or texting me saying that I could be basically more responsible in how I post, and that I have this great platform and people pay attention, I guess, if you will, at what I have to say or what I'm doing. They too have the same platform that I do. And so I kind of gave that back to them. I said, look, you too have a Facebook page. If this is so important to you, where is your video? Where is your post? What are you doing? Why are you putting this on me? I really didn't appreciate that. I believe that every single person has a God-given talent of some sort. Maybe your talent is that you're really great with numbers. Maybe you're in banking, finance, those kind of things. You're really smart with, being a realtor, or sports. Maybe you're really great at basketball or something. I think if God gave you that talent to do something, then you should use that for it. Maybe you're really great at painting cars. Everybody has some kind of a talent in doing something. I believe that mine is music. And so my whole life is 100% music. My wife's life is 100% music. My kids, it's all music. And I think because we were given that talent, then we have a responsibility to use that talent. And I don't feel it's necessary to constantly be saying things that seem disingenuous in my faith. And so I, I think I'm losing track of what I wanted to say exactly. I felt a little bit beat up because these people came out and said, hey, you play drums at church. Why don't you talk about that once in a while? Actually, every time I do play drums at church, I do talk about that. And every time I'm playing drums with Cliff Miller, I talk about that. Every time I'm recording music, I talk about that. Look, this music is my living. This is my profession. All my income comes from teaching, playing shows, recording, all of those things, and everything associated with that. If you want to dive deep into music business, you're talking about royalties and all of those things, from your songs being played on Spotify, iTunes, those kind of things. Maybe your music got licensed to a TV show or something like that. When Midline was signed with Gotham Records, we had 4 of our songs licensed to ESPN's Re-Evolution of Sports. And so there's money that flows back and forth due to that. And because this is my living, I talk about my living all the time. And I want what I was blessed with to continue to increase. So I have to do the work. Just as I did when I was a landscaper. I was constantly bidding jobs and working and doing all those things for landscaping. It didn't mean that I had to inject my faith every time I talked about laying pavers. So there you have it. You know that Fred's a Christian. I believe in God, but I don't feel like I have to come and beat you over the head with my beliefs. Everybody has their belief. Now, I don't have to agree with what you believe in, and you don't have to agree with what I believe in. And I think that this world that we're in right now can be so toxic so quickly. And so I'm really careful about my opinions, my political opinions. Boom, there you have it. Let's get back to more fun stuff. Anyway, like I was saying, that those topics can be so toxic so quickly, and I don't want anything to do with that. If you want to talk to me in person about those kind of things, awesome. And I think those conversations in person are definitely way more cordial than the safety of our typewriter, our keyboard typewriter. Oh, Fred's old. He just said typewriter. It's your keyboard warriorness is a little taxing. So that's why I like to post fun stuff, me laughing all the time. I will say that I'm looking forward to today, because as soon as I wrap this up, I'm going to take my lovely wife, who is laughing behind the glass over there. We're going to go grab some human bean coffee to go along with the coffee we've already had. Then I'm coming back to the studio and I'm going to record drums for a brand new track that Midline is working on. So I'll record that, and once it's done, we're going to send the tracks off to JB. JB's going to record his guitar parts from his studio that he has at his house. And Anthony's also going to do vocals there. Anthony and JB have been getting together frequently, working on all these different ideas we have for songs. And JB's recording great vocal tracks with Anthony. And so they're going to put vocals on that. Then we're going to send the tracks to Scott Alexander, who is the bass player from the band Dishwalla, who I'm great friends with. And he's going to record bass on that. And Mary's going to get all the tracks prepped, and we're sending that off to be mixed. Then I've got 2 other drum tracks to record that are going to be submitted for some movie stuff. That's another thing that Mary and I work on, and we collab with some other people submitting music for TV and film, and that's always really cool. And it's a challenge too, because these songs have to be written, recorded, mixed, and sent very, very fast. Some of them we've just done within less than 24 hours because we'll get an email that so-and-so is looking for a very specific thing. And so we try to write music for that and produce it and all of that really, really quick and turn it around. And it's gets a little intense, but it's really super fun. So anyway, hope you guys have an awesome day. Get your coffee, jumpstart your day. Go just be amazing. Whatever your God-given talent is today, go be awesome at that and continue to make that flourish. And that's what I'm going to do with my amazing producer there in the other room. And we're just going to do music today because that's what we were put here to do. So have an awesome, awesome day, and we'll see you soon.